Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Tuesday, April 11th. A couple housekeeping items. This is going to be my last show until Friday. Then I get back to a full-time schedule. So I'm not going to be here Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be here Friday. And tomorrow is CPI. So be careful about that. That could do anything to the market. So speaking of CPI in the market, we're going to start with our macro look here. Starting look at regional banks up here first. KRE seems pretty stable. Nothing happened last week. Remember, we talked about the risk of Wall or PACW doing something bad. That didn't happen. Okay, but that's always on our radar. So the things are steady with the regional banks, FRC, Wall, PACW, and KRE, QQQ, SPY. Everything is kind of holding its ground tomorrow. And of course, anything can happen. If CPI comes in too hot, it could potentially really halt this rally. Right now, we're definitely in a bull mode in terms of all the technicals. Yesterday, we had a lot of breakouts on risk assets, a lot of stocks over key moving averages. Most of them, I would say, over the 20-day moving average and possibly heading towards the 50. Some of them even hit new 52-week highs, like ASUR Software. We'll get to those in just a few minutes. So the technicals are looking good kind of across the board, but CPI can derail that tomorrow. So be careful of that. And let's look at our two hedges against this banking crisis, but also against a potential fiat currency crisis. So gold and Bitcoin are the two that I've been promoting and I've been a proponent of to hedge risk against that. They've both been working pretty well. Actually, Bitcoin, I noted, remember, I got a little bit cold on this when they went after Coinbase and Binance. But yesterday, I don't know, I just saw the strong technicals in Bitcoin yesterday. So I made a note of that and also noted that a lot of people have been well, I don't know, but a lot. But I saw something, I saw some conversations over Twitter about how this has been the best hedge all year long, better than gold, better than TLT, better than shorting the market. It's been Bitcoin. So I noted that, and yesterday I did take a portion of my gold position in my IRA and I went back into Bitcoin via BITO. Did that before the big spike up. Now it's over 30,000. I'm not sure if technical analysis here will really work because it's not directly Bitcoin. I'm not sure how much is lost in translation here, but you can see we're up against this gap here at about $18 right there. So it's reached that kind of resistance level. Honestly, like I think this thing can go to Bitcoin can go to 50,000 and much higher if there is a real fiat currency crisis, right? If all these rumblings behind the scenes, China, Brazil, India, et cetera, you know about it, all of it. If something happens, then I think you could see Bitcoin spiking. Very interesting thing about Bitcoin is this move has been disconnected from other risk assets. Let's take a look at the most famous risk asset, RKK. Compare this chart, RK, to Bitcoin, and you'll see a big divergence, right? So something very specific is happening with Bitcoin right now. Someone with a lot of money is buying it. Who knows? Perhaps in anticipation, maybe it's even the same parties who want to do something against the USD are doing this. I don't know exactly the dynamics behind it, but it's certainly looking good technically. And take note of the fact that this is behaving on its own, different than just a levered tech asset, which is how it's traditionally been acting, but not on the day after the regional banking crisis. It acted differently. And yesterday, it's acted differently. Take note, something may be up. I think it's smart to hedge, have a little bit of this in case something does happen with the fiat currency system. Maybe those Bitcoin bulls will be right. All right. So that's the story of Bitcoin. Gold bouncing back up as well yesterday. Oh, it's sliding down this morning, but look at this. 186 is actually a key level. It didn't hold it. If it can get above 186, that's going to be a key level to challenge those recent highs again over there at 188.50. So 186 is what I'm looking at for a breakout, potentially to take it back to the highs, and 20 DMA support here at 183.50. All right, that's enough on the macro, except, you know what? Before I go to individual stocks, just want to take note of all these crypto stocks. I'm not in any of them, but the most famous ones, Coin, Mara, Riot. Okay, Coin, Mara, Riot breaking out above the 20-day DMA, but Mara was the most interesting one to me because that's above the 200-day moving average right here. That's interesting, and above the 50-week. So here's a big breakout, very clear on Mara. Not as clear on Riot. Still has room to that 200-day. And with Coin, it was only a break over the 20 DMA, which was also kind of significant. Well, nope. The real clear one is Mara. So Mara acting the best. So if you're talking about quality assets that are linked to Bitcoin, maybe Mara is going to be the best one. All right, you got Mara and Bitcoin. All right, now let's go to and you know what? Hold on. Let me just look at let's see if there's any targets here on Mara in case you guys are interested. I'm not playing it, but let's see. 10 psychological hold number, definitely an important level there. And then we'll reassess if it does get to 10. Okay, let's go to some individual stocks. I do think there's some opportunities here this morning on Catalyst. I'm going to point out BABA first. BABA AI news out last night, early this morning. Their ChatGPT product was released on a lot of their products. And normally I would have expected this to be up big. But the reason it's not up big is because on the same day, coincidentally or not, China said that they believe there needs to be strict regulations on AI. And that caused a bunch of AI stocks in China to go down significantly. So that's kind of nullifying the impact of BABA. But you know what? Because I'm long BABA shares, I'm long BABA call options. I'm also short call options on my shares. But I would have to say it's going to shake. I'm going to guess it's going to shake off this regulation news, and the reason I'm saying that is because we have now stacked catalysts over time since this gap up. Right, this moved up because of the fundamental impact of breaking up the company, what that means for valuations, and then it held the 50 DMA. So now you're adding another catalyst on top of it, and you have a 2200 cross. I think it might shake off this regulation news on AI in China and start running on this catalyst that this product has been released. Actually, there's not much on it in the news feed. Here it is. There's a little article here. You can read about it. Ding Talk is going to be added to Ding Talk and Tmall Genie, and to integrate it, and they're going to integrate in the companies and all the companies' apps in the near future, right? So this is a big announcement, and I'm looking for this. These are the levels to break. 103.24. Well, yesterday's high, you got to contend with too. Was that 103.24? 102.83. Yeah, I would say 103.24. Go back 2 days. I think this is the high to contend with. It's 103.24, then 105 are your next two levels. And if it can, and basically what I'm saying is if it breaks 103.24 and holds it, then I think it's make a move to 105. And 105 is very significant. If it breaks 105, it's going to like 110 or so. So BABA, I like it despite the mixed news. I think because our 4-pillar approach at story trading, I'm going to anticipate, because of all these tailwinds from fundamentals and other catalysts, that we're going to break these technical levels, even though the reaction's kind of muted this morning. All right, want to let you know about some news that came out on Rumble. Rumble, here's another one. I have to think this thing's going to start holding. I'm going to find this tough to swallow to say, hey, we're just going back down to 8 or something. They had great earnings. They have a long cash runway. And last night they had more news. They signed on two creators. Combined, they have 10 million YouTube subscribers. You can see here, Gidon alone has 6.8 million YouTube subscribers, 2.2 million Instagram subscribers. And then you got DJ Academus with 5.2 million on Instagram and 2.76 million on YouTube. These are massive numbers. RUM is executing really well right now. They have a nice cash position. They beat the revenue. They 2x the estimate. So maybe this is going to be a catalyst for this to make a move towards 925 today. And if that breaks, maybe higher, we'll see. But I really like RUM. It's going to be hard on the day-to-day for this, but I'm actually holding this in my IRA at this point. All right. So Rumble, I like. A little bit of news out on Sting. More buybacks. They bought back roughly, I calculated 1% of the outstanding shares. So it was, let's see here, repurchased 400,000 shares, and we got about 60 million. So what is that? That's like 0.7%, maybe 0.7% of the outstanding shares were bought out here. So that could be a catalyst. I'm not in it right now. Oil services industry, shipping industry, really impacted by oil prices. So STNG might have a good day today, but I like BABA better, and I may even like RUM better. But here's also what I like better: ASUR and Clearfield. So we talked about this yesterday in the post-market wrap. These stocks have been on radar for a long time. ASUR broke out like significantly yesterday. We've been waiting for this. This is a cup and handle breakout. We're waiting for this break of, I think it was 1390 or no, 1483. Yeah. And I would say if it breaks 1483, you're making a beeline towards 16. That seems to be happening. Okay. I presented this last night on Wolf Financial Spaces along with Clearfield as my two picks for the week. Came in second place last week, by the way, on GDXU and Baba. But sure, a lot of people on the panel really like this. Someone already found it earlier in the day on a screener, and they're in it. So beautiful cup and handle breakout. Russell 2000 inclusion. Thank you, Chris Tarbert. That list that comes out April 28th. I think we may be seeing the initial buying of that. And where do we go from here? It's tough. You got to go to a 5-year chart. No more moving averages to look at. We're beyond all of them. And I think this area is where we're headed to, right in this congestion zone of 16 to 18. I think that's the near-term target on this. Watch the RSI starting to get stretched, but I think the catalyst is the Russell 2000 buying and this technical breakout, cup and handle breakout. So really bullish the rest of this week on ASUR Software, ASUR. Clearfield also had a breakout yesterday, breakout above the 20 DMA. Let's hope that 20 DMA holds. That would be great. If that 20 DMA holds, maybe we can get some constructive price action into the earnings report, which is coming out in a few weeks. Maybe ahead of that. They don't expect the earnings to really turn around fundamentally to change the sentiment until next quarter, right? But maybe we get a move here, maybe something buyable. I've been shorting puts and been buying around the $45 level for my IRA, but this is looking good, looking promising. And one could maybe make a guess or a bet that we've found the bottom because now we've broken the 20 DMA to the upside. So perhaps it's not going to fly to 55. It definitely could over the next couple of weeks. But if it doesn't, maybe we've found the bottom here on Clearfield finally. So that's good news. Nice breakouts on both ASUR and Clearfield. Baba I like. RUM. Now, a couple other items. ANIX Biosciences. We've been talking about this. Their data comes out on Monday. So Monday, and the safe way to play it, I bought it. I already had it, but I bought more yesterday around $4.50 or so. And the safe way to play it is to sell this on Friday before the data comes out. So I might do some of that. But based on the CEO comments, I'm thinking that the data will be good on Monday. We'll have a nice PR Monday morning on breast cancer vaccine. That is sexy, man. If they have a nice headline on that, that can get around. And who knows, maybe we get pops like this. Maybe we get a pop like in the past to $6, $7, $8 on Monday morning. That's definitely in the realm of possibility, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket. I'm definitely going to sell some on Friday, especially if we're going to be above $5, which I think we can or should be between $5 and $5.50 because that's out there. People know the comments the CEO has made, people paying attention. So I think there's going to be some FOMO buying into Friday. So that's our opportunity to sell some and then hold some into Monday and hope that we get a good press release, a good headline that can get us to $6 or $8. I think that's in the realm of possibility. INMB, I think they're going to be at the same event because this morning they said, hey, we're going to present our own breast cancer data on Monday in a poster. And it looks like that data was actually released right here. Some sort of a study was published yesterday, I believe it was. PR out on it today, poster presentation on Monday. I'm not sure all the data is here, though. I think we'll have to wait till Monday to get the full details, or if you have access to the article that was published, you can get maybe more details. I don't think the data is actually in the PR today. It talks about it a little bit, but maybe this is why the stock was moving up yesterday. Because I think that data was actually published yesterday. INMB making a move on breast cancer, but breast cancer vaccine sounds more interesting to me than what INMB is doing. We'll see. I own both of them. And want to point out some news in DermTech. Not really game-changing news. They signed up another insurer. This takes them to, let's see, from 122 million covered lives to 126 million covered lives. Not really a game changer, but let's combine that with the technicals. It's bounced off the 20 DMA 3 days in a row here to the penny. Beautiful. Combine that with continued momentum. Yeah, 122 to 126 is not game-changing, but they're continuing to execute signing up these insurers. So that gives me confidence it's going to continue to hold that 20 DMA. So what's the play here? I don't know. Like 350? Maybe it's going to touch it again. 355. Look, another way to play it is to sell put options. I was hoping for lower strikes, but we have, let's go 38 day. We have the $5 strike. You could sell that for 150, which you may be able to do. That's like buying the stock at 350, 20, 30 cents off. That may be a way to play it. Instead of putting a limit order in at 350, you can just buy it right away at 355 at the 20 DMA. You can buy it right away if you're interested in this. I'm not sure that I own this anymore. I have to check. But they have not turned the corner yet. They're signing up all these insurers, but it hasn't translated into money yet. Okay, they do have a strong balance sheet. They have some a good runway. So this is not a stock that's in imminent danger of going to like a $1 or $2. So there's a good reason to believe it could hold this 20 DMA on technicals, fundamentals, and this catalyst out this morning. That's how I like to do it. Combining those pillars gives me more conviction rather than looking at technicals alone. So that's on DermTech, DMTK. Really like it now at the 20 DMA. VTSI, we've been covering this. 595 was the level. It seemed like it broke it, but that was only intraday. You see this? It's getting stopped by these candles here in early October. So if it can break and hold above 595 and close above 595, then I think your next stop is 650 on VTSI. I really like this. I made contact with management, and I think we will be able to get that new co-CEO, John Givens, over at a StoryTrading event soon. So stay tuned for that. All right. RELL, that was a good. We talked about this yesterday. It made a comeback. We got $20 resistance on RELL. So that's all I'll say there. Okay. Long term, I like it, but definitely got some resistance to deal with now that it broke below that level. $20 resistance. Tesla looking mixed bag of news over the last few days. I'm not going to make a prediction on it because the news was mixed in terms of new factories opening, China sales, all kinds of news. Some seems good, some seems bad, but it's pretty richly valued here. So I'm not chomping at the bit to buy this. It's still below the 20 DMA, but we'll continue monitoring that. And that's about all we got. So as far as my top focuses for the day, let's just see if there's any other news. Oh, look, what's this? AID. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Oh my, we got news on some stocks that I'd like to follow. HIMS and ZYXI and AID. Let's just look quickly. AID receives $5 million equity investment to fuel next phase of growth. Okay, at what price? That's what I'd like to know. Let's see. Brad Pascal announced the return of strategic advisors there. Brad, that's going to add some sentiment points to the stock as a Trump stock. Let's go down further. Okay, was structuring the president of the company and current AIAD's common stock at a ratio of 1 to 400. In addition, Chandler provides an option for 2 additional tranches investment. The total. I think we'll have to look at a filing. I don't think it has the price in here. Does it have the number of shares? No, I think we'll have to look at a filing to get details on how much this was sold for. So that's interesting. ZYXI, let's just look at Baird first on HIMS. Baird initiates coverage on HIMS, a neutral rating. Okay, so that's not a big mover. It's neutral. It's rated $10. And then ZYXI for preliminary first quarter results. Let's just look at what's going on with the chart because they got hit with that. I think it was a short report. They're always getting hit with short reports. Over the years, I've been following them, mostly regarding their Medicare coverage, reimbursement issues. All right, well, I don't have time to read through this right now. I don't know. They're confirming their previous estimates. Okay, so that shouldn't be a mover. Our first quarter revenue estimates is an increase of approximately 29% year over year. Reiterates. They're confirming and reiterating. So nothing that's going to really be necessarily a market mover today. So I'm really focused on BABA. That's the one I'm most interested in taking a trade in. BABA, actually a short too. A short, especially if it dips. We have strong support now in 1483 to 15 area on ASUR. So got high confidence there to buy those dips on ASUR. And BABA, going to anticipate we're going to break out today. All right. Based on that 4-pillar strategy we talked about. All right. And with that, I am not going to be, I'll do a quick post-market wrap today, but I'm not going to be here the next 2 days. I'll see you again Friday morning for the pre-market prep. And then we get back to a full schedule. And hopefully a bunch of CEOs coming as well, the balance of this month and into next month. So good luck out there and keep the collaboration going. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.